What's good? It's your boy Fanon. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody that subscribes to the channel. If you've not done so, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release videos and also of when the live chats are going to occur. One of the best things about this channel is we have really great live streams, and I hope that you'll attend. Also, thank you to everybody that has that's donated and supported the cause on Patreon, the super chats, and through Venmo. Now, let me get to something, man. Billy Joe Saunders, who is a boxer that I like very much, has just pulled a whammy on Martin Murray by withdrawing from their bout, which was supposed to take place June 23rd. As we all know, because most people listen to this channel are avid boxing fans, Billy Joe Saunders is the WBO 160-pound champion. And so here's the news on it. On June 23rd, also, before I go into the detail of it, I don't believe this nonsense. I think this has got to be the most another convenient injury that is going to help Billy Joe Saunders negotiate to try to get himself a bout with either Gennady Golovkin to unify all four belts in the middleweight division, which I don't have an issue with, or get a really big payday facing Canelo Alvarez. So either one of those, if this bout between Canelo and Gennady Golovkin doesn't get made, then I mean, I think it's a win. It's a win-win situation for Billy Joe Saunders. But let me get into the information, and I don't believe it, Doug. Anyway, the June 23rd WBO World Middleweight title fight between Billy Joe Saunders and Martin Murray is off again. A fight seemingly destined to never happen. Saunders first withdrew from an April date on account of a hand injury, and now he has removed himself from the rearranged date due to a hamstring injury. His opponent, Murray, broke the news this morning and was understandably upset, if not surprised. The fight is off, Murray wrote on Instagram. Billy Joe Saunders has ished out again. Gutted is an understatement, but nothing I can do. I just want to apologize to everyone who has bought tickets and booked holidays and thank everyone for their continued support. Hopefully, another training camp doesn't go to waste and my management team can get me a fight sorted in a couple of weeks. Murray's suspicion, this is not me misreading, it's just, I don't know they don't hire good editors on these websites, I guess. Murray's suspicion is that Saunders has scraped their June 23rd fight in favor of pursuing bigger and better options, namely bouts with Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin, both of whom could soon be in need of a middleweight opponent. You have your ups and downs in boxing, but the last 3 months have been down. Saunders tweeted on Sunday, "Sorry to Martin and the fans. Be back soon." Frank Warren, meanwhile, the promoter of the June 23rd event, took to social media to tweet the following. Due to an injury suffered by Billy Joe Saunders, unfortunately, he has had to withdraw from his June 23rd bout with Martin Murray at the O2 Arena. A full statement on the show will be made tomorrow. We apologize for any inconvenience. Now, one of my favorite Twitter pages, Michael Benson. I think everybody should follow Michael Benson on Twitter. It's at Michael Benson. Michael Benson with two N's. Had tweeted that Tom Loeffler stated that if the Canelo rematch doesn't happen, then Gennady Golovkin will likely face a mandatory, not Billy Joe Saunders. He didn't specify when GGG would fight, but noted Saunders wouldn't be available as he's fighting June 23rd. Then Michael Benson responds, Suppose that's problem solved then. So yeah, let's get real. A hamstring injury, yeah, okay, maybe it happened, but that's one of these things where, what a convenient injury. I think that Billy Joe Saunders should just say thank you very much to his hamstring, and because it really did it came in real handy. It really helped him out when he needed it. Because this is the absolute perfect time for Billy Joe Saunders to catch an injury. And I'm not the biggest fan of coincidences, but hey, man, if there's a coincidence to be had, hey, no better time to have it than when you put yourself in a situation where you can do one of two things. You can either win, face Gennady Golovkin, and win. And because I have a feeling Billy Joe Saunders is going to beat Gennady Golovkin. Just my take on it. And have a chance to make good money and try to get your hands on all 4 belts: the IBF, the WBO, the WBA Super, and the and the WBC, all in one swoop. And all you need to do that is just to pull a hamstring, right? I ran track in college, so I know about hamstring pulls. Hamstring pulls usually happen in a sprint. Like most times, there's two ways that hamstring pulls typically happen when you're in track, when you're running track. Because that's a high that and shin splints are an injury that happens pretty regularly. The two reasons that those typically happen is, one, you're dehydrated, right? You're dehydrated and results in a cramp, or you don't stretch. You're dehydrated or you don't stretch, right? That can lead to a pulled hamstring. And then the other one is you're getting your behind kicked and you want to fake like the guy's not outrunning you. So the first one is not taking care of yourself, stretching properly, being hydrated, which, Pedialyte, use Pedialyte. Don't use Gatorade. Use Pedialyte if you're hot. It works for babies. It works for you as well. But the other one is the one that I think is more applicable here, is that when you get your behind whooped, you want to act and make an excuse to get out of that. And say, oh, well, we never know. We would have never known who would have won the race because, he pulled his hamstring, he pulled his hamstring. So I think that this second one is the situation for Billy Joe Saunders. But, it is what it is. Hopefully, Billy Joe Martin Murray can get some money up out of Frank Warren for this happening, because I'm sure that he has costs associated with his training camp and all of that, and the fact that he's not going to be able to earn a paycheck. This is supposed to happen in April, then it gets moved back to June. It gets pushed back 2 months or 8 weeks, and then it happens again. Fortunate for Billy Joe Saunders, though, it is what it is. So anyway, with this moving on, now the more likely fight is not, like what Tom Loeffler said. I don't see Gennady Golovkin facing Billy Joe Saunders. I think he'll take the mandatory route against, if he doesn't do Canelo. But first, let me not go to fairy tales too quick. I'll be absolutely shocked. See, this is not some Anthony Joshua. This is not going to be some Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn type of situation with Gennady Golovkin. Because Gennady Golovkin, because the guy that the guy that is the big money earner in the bout actually wants it, right? Probably wants the bout. I wouldn't, who knows what's happening with all that, Combuterol situation and all that. But Canelo Alvarez is saying, and Oscar De La Hoya is saying that they really want the bout, but they want what they believe are realistic financial terms. And I think they're talking about a 65-35 split, where Gennady Golovkin wants a 50-50 split. So I don't think this is a situation where Gennady Golovkin is just trying to get more money out of it. And if he gets more money out of it, Even if they come up from 35 to 40 or to 42 or something like that, some type of concession out of where it can move the money up a little bit for Gennady Golovkin. I think Gennady Golovkin is going to take that match. I think a lot of things about Abel Sanchez and all the nonsense that Abel Sanchez says, the nonsense about certain boxers not being able to sell, despite the fact that all of the highest paid, every one of the top fights included the type of fighters that he says don't sell. I've never really appreciated the way that Abel Sanchez uses the names of other boxers to build up Gennady Golovkin, right? With all that nonsense about Andre Ward and using Andre Ward's name as somebody that he could face, and also doing the same thing with Floyd Mayweather Jr., saying that this is marketing Gennady Golovkin is the guy that could beat Floyd Mayweather, when anybody with common sense knows that they are like 3 weight classes away from each other, right? Gennady Golovkin's a 160 pounder, probably could go to 168, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a blown up lightweight. So you got a guy whose best weight division is probably at 135 pounds and a guy that's at 160 pounds. But yet Gennady Golovkin, Canelo Alvarez and Abel Sanchez and Gennady Golovkin, they're making that sales pitch as if that's a realistic bout. That's a bout that could ever really happen. You might as well have Chris Eubank calling out Vasyl Lomachenko. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some Vasyl Lomachenko fans that believe that Vasyl Lomachenko could beat Chris Eubank, right? But, it wouldn't happen, way too big. And then, of course, there is the whole, it's just, you can go on and on. You can go on and on with Abel Sanchez and the nonsense Abel Sanchez says, the whole Mexican style, it's just like a super contrived marketing mechanism around Gennady Golovkin with the fake record that they keep trying to sell, right? 20 title. He's tied Bernard Hopkins 20 title defenses, making a fake record about a dang near insignificant record, right? First of all, it's like all these records, it's like everybody's in the same business as the Guinness Book of World Record, just trying to find some stat where they can say that they've done it more than anybody else. Like the longest person to sleep on the left side of their body in a bed, in a twin bed on the 3rd floor of a building in Natchez, Mississippi, right? Nobody's ever done that. Nobody's ever slept on their left side as long as this person did on a single bed on the 3rd floor of a house in Natchez, Mississippi. Like, who cares, right? But anyway, that nonsense record tied that record, right, of Bernard Hopkins is just another example of the whole Gennady Golovkin thing. But still, I do believe the guy, isn't stupid, right? It takes some intelligence. It takes a lot of commitment to come up with that many scams, right? It takes a brain to be a scam artist. And Abel Sanchez is a scam artist, and Tom Loeffler is a scam artist, as, just about as good as anybody, man. You got Eddie Hearn, really trying to take over the mantle from him. But hey, it's going to be a tough competition because they really do try hard. Now, that said, Gennady Golovkin is not dumb. Gennady Golovkin is going to take that bout. He's going to take that money. He's not going to go get in the ring with Deverenchenko for $1 million. He's not going to get in the ring with Charlo. He wouldn't get in the ring with Charlo for $8 million. I don't believe. He's going to take the path of least resistance with the most money, and that is Canelo Alvarez, even more so than Billy Joe Saunders, because Canelo Alvarez is a known commodity for Gennady Golovkin. He's already been in the ring with him. He already feels like he won the bout. He knows what Canelo Alvarez can do. I'm also quite sure that he believes that Canelo Alvarez, well, and with good reason believes that Canelo Alvarez was on a performance enhancing substance during the last bout. So consequently, since he was on a performance enhancing substance in the last bout, and if they can watch that closely enough and ensure that he's not during the training and the preparation leading up to this one, that might even give him more of an advantage. So, I mean, logic tells me that this bout is going to get made, but Gennady Golovkin feels as if he has got a bargaining chip, right? And that's just it's a bargaining chip that I don't understand. I mean, because it's an emotional bargaining chip, because he says that, he deserves more money because Canelo Alvarez needs him to build his name back up after the situation that happened with the positive tests. I don't understand why. Why can't Canelo go face Charlo and have the same thing happen? It's not going to go away. Detractors of Canelo Alvarez are going to, from here forward, always call him, Clenello, right? They're always going to say, hey, man, this guy is on performance enhancing substances, right? I mean, look, Alexander Povetkin got popped multiple times with he got popped 3 times with 3 different substances, and he's still and nobody's complaining about the fact that he gets that more than likely he's going to face Anthony Joshua and get a shot at all 3 of the belts. He never went back and faced the guys that he got busted fighting. It's just, hey, man, he tested positive, and we know he's dirty, but as long as he's facing somebody, we don't like, then it's all good, right? So as long as Canelo Alvarez's base fans are supporting him, then he doesn't need Gennady Golovkin. And there is no redemption going to come out of that for fans of Gennady Golovkin, because if he goes in there and beats Gennady Golovkin, which I think he would do, if he goes and beats Gennady Golovkin, all the Gennady Golovkin fans, and tell me the ones, many of them are practiced at overlooking flat obvious facts in their face. Practice at it. Very, very good at it. Can do it with the best of them. They'll just look right past that and say, hey, Canelo lost. Canelo, well, first of all, he can, just kind of like Sergey Kovalev fans, Gennady Golovkin can be bent over on sitting on the ropes after having gotten his head rocked by a right hand in like 10 consecutive body shots that he doesn't defend himself against, and it'll just come up with a reason why they cheated him. Because that's just how those guys' minds operate. They want something to happen, and if it doesn't happen for them, hey, it should have happened for them, and it's somebody else's fault, or somehow they were done wrong, or their guy was done wrong, or whatever. So that whole argument with Canelo Alvarez needing to face Gennady Golovkin in order to redeem his name, that's just an emotional marketing ploy. It's another phony baloney argument, similar to the other ones that I named that Gennady Golovkin's camp has pulled in the past with other people. So I see that. Long story short, I think that bout with Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin is going to happen, and I do believe that I have high suspicions that this hamstring injury with Billy Joe Saunders is just a way to try to hopefully get himself in a situation where he can either get Canelo or he can get Gennady Golovkin. And at the end of the day, Martin Murray was, from what I could see, a stay busy bout. And if it doesn't work out, he can just get himself another stay busy bout. Just give him another stay busy matchup, and keep it moving. So anyway, that is what it is on that one. And I'm out. Peace.